Hi and welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to have a look at creating some presets in Jupiter Xm. I have got the Jupiter X editor on the screen because you won't be able to see anything on this stupid screen. It's not necessarily easier using this. I mean, you can still do it via the screen, but this is actually a lot easier for you to see. Quite a few presets already. I've done about half a dozen. So I am in the scenes folder, and if you scroll down you will eventually get to the INITs. So if I just double click one of those, we'll just discard the one that I had open, and this is what you get. So you get a Jupiter A, a Juno 106, a JX8P and an SH101. So you get one of each. So this is the Jupiter A. So you can see if you want to switch them on, you just switch on the keyboard. So that's the Juno 106 heater pad, and then we've got the JX8P Mass 5. So basically these are all the first presets in each category, and then we've got the Gimme Lead. So why they picked that, I don't know. Then you've got your volumes there. The last one is the drum track. So we're only going to be using the 4. So this is the kind of library, and then you've got your kind of scenes and tones there as well. And then you've got the actual editor, the init scene there. So we're in Scene Builder. For instance, we can just click in here, and then it'll automatically go to the Jupiter 8 folder. So that is quite convenient. And we are going to start off with the Reso pad, I think. So we're going to kind of create a big sod off pad. So that is your Reso pad on part 1. And as you can see, I've got part mode switched on and the other ones are flashing, the ones that are not selected. So we're on part 1, which is selected. And then if we switch over to the Juno 106, we are going to pick the soft pad. So, and as you can see, it goes to the first preset there, which is heater pad. So we're going to go to soft pad, but they're not in alphabetical order. So I'm not exactly sure where it is. It's there. And if we want to switch this on, we switch on keyboard there, and it already has the drive on. Like I said, I'll switch the drive on for all of them. So that is our soft pad and our Reso pad. So we can take the soft pad maybe down a bit, maybe say to 88. Kind of levels default to 100, as you can see, and we're on 120, so we could maybe take that down to say maybe 110. So very nice so far. Right, the JX8P. I'm going to have the slow attack strings because that's one of my favorites, and it is here. So we'll just I'll switch these off and we can just demo that on its own. So nice slow attack strings, and we'll bring this down probably even more, maybe say to 80, 78. So we'll bring them all in. Right, so the S1 and S2 are not applied, as you can see, nothing's happening. So we can do that easier on the keyboard. So if I go into the init scene, if I click right, it'll come up. So it's defaulting, but we're going to assign these to, we're going to assign the first one to the cutoff, and then the second one to the res. So that's the cutoff on S1. That's the res on S2. can put on a bit of, say, delay on that one, and a bit of reverb. So, very nice. And the SH101, so I don't really want a bass because that's not really going to work. So I need to use Fireflies, which is another one of my favorite patches, and it is a synth lead. So we're going to ramp the volume down on this. So I'll just demo it first. Got to click all these off. So we'll demo it. So it's a kind of squidgy lead. Right, so we'll take this down to, say, probably around about 80 as well. Yeah, 80. We will put a bit of maybe chorus on that. Right. Well, there we go. How easy was that? Very nice indeed. So let's whack on a bit of drums and just see. It should default to the kick, I think. Right, so we need to switch that off. See, the only problem is when you put this on, it'll defaults back to 120. So I'm going to leave it on 120 because every time you change the pattern, it switches back to 120. Really annoying. So if I set that back to, say, 100, when I change the pattern, it'll go back up to 120. Don't get it. Kick and clap. And then go down and change the drums. Put the 606 on. That's the 606 drum. So you can do that in here as well. So you can see it's changed to 606 there. We'll go back to kick and clap. So that is basically how you create a patch from scratch. If we want to write that, we can just write it and then it'll ask you where to go. So it's going to pick in, so I'll pick 13, which is an empty one, and then you can just, you can't name it from here, but you can write it and then rename it. So we'll write that. If I scroll back up and go to scenes, it will be after machine. So if I double click this one, it should load that in. And it has. So if I click on INIT scene, if I double click it, and then you can go up here and rename it. So put in DTC demo, write that, and then write it back to there, and that'll be it. So yeah, it's a bit of a faff. Go back to there, you can see it says DTC demo. So yeah, so you have to kind of write it twice, and for some, I don't know why you can't just rename it on the first write, but it doesn't work. So it took me a while to figure it out because it doesn't really tell you about that in the manual. So I'm going to play a few of my presets. So we're going to start off with the Blade Runner one. So I always do a Blade Runner patch. So and this is 2 Jupiter X's and a GX8P. Another one called Quiver, and I think this has got drums on it as well, I think. This is the kind of Jupiter 8, Juno 106 and a GX8P and the SH101. So we've got a couple of drones and an octave bass and the techno kit. Right, that is it for today. So hopefully you enjoyed that scene building process, and if you did, please remember to like, subscribe, share and comment, and I will see you in the next one.